Welcome back to Level Next, the official collegiate home of esports. It's new, it's official, guys. So drop the follow right now because you got a chance to win some cards like my boys just did. Let's give a shout out to the winners of our Pat Watkins card. And no, it's not one great user. RG said absolutely not, but we'll give you someone from the Panthers. Maybe a Jeremy Shockey's in there for you. The winners, though, let's bring them up here. I've got Lucky Panda 707 here in the EA Madden NFL chat and over on twitch.tv/levelnextgg. Congratulations to the Mailman 1984. One of the few people in the chat older than me, but still younger than Josh. Let's get into this next one, though, guys, because it's time to get into our match of the week. Not only are we going to see some epic gameplay, we also got a Tim Tebow card that I know a lot of Florida Gator fans out there may want to collect. Tebow is going to be cheering on his Gators. They are actually 1-5 was the official standing, going up against Connor Myers and the Tennessee Volunteers, who are 6-0 so far in the SEC.
Well, and I tell you what, Tennessee, Florida, this is going to be fun for us, our match of the week. They're also getting ready to really get it on in Knoxville on Saturday afternoon. So in this one, which is going to be the Browns and the Saints, we find Tennessee and Florida in the Madden community. And this is a great rivalry, obviously. User, you know it. I mean, you live in Carolina, but you're close enough to both those states to know that when Florida and Tennessee get together, it can be explosive. This is the 20-year anniversary of the probably the most controversial game they ever played against each other. A catch that maybe wasn't by Jabbar Gaffney, 27-23 final. Back in the Lane Kiffin versus Urban Meyer days. I mean, these were always great battles, Tennessee and Florida. And I can't lie and say New Orleans against Cleveland is a great battle. but these two players, Zachary Berenberg for Florida, Connor Myers for Tennessee, good Madden players. So this could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's always a big rivalry, Tennessee and Florida. Now I wonder if these college kids, if they got a little bit more extra fight in them just because of the matchup. Because when you're in college, man, that's when you get all real rowdy. But then when you get older, you get kind of out of it. You start focusing on the NFL teams. So I wonder, if they still got that, hey, we're playing, man. It's not real football, but I wonder if it's still there.
And I wanted to ask you, user, this is the first time that we have seen a Cleveland Browns team in competition in the tournament broadcast so far. So what should we know? I know they got Myles Garrett on defense. You got Chubb, you've got Hunt, Beckham, and of course Landry. What are the strengths of Cleveland Browns in game?
What we need to, we're not looking for what they have. We're looking for what they don't have. Odell Beckham right there, that's a nice dot. But if you notice, they don't have the stars. If you look, the quarterback doesn't have a star. Running back doesn't have a star. It's actually the least amount of stars that I've ever seen on the field. There's only one star, and that's Odell Beckham out there. I was about to call him David Beckham. But
he's not that pretty.
Well, yeah, to your point, Nick Chubb's a nice player, but, I mean, you take a look. It's an 84 overall, right, for the Browns. It's 82 on offense and 79 on defense. There are so many teams in the mid to upper 80s defensively. I mean, even the Bears are in 88 defensively, right? I mean, the Ravens are up there. The Steelers, I think, were at 92. But there's OBJ. That is one thing you called it. One thing that you do have.
And my guy is out here cooking with the Cleveland Browns too.
I was going to say maybe it's because it's the closest thing you have to Tennessee orange. But I would actually say that's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers creamsicle jersey. So, pick Tampa Bay if you can.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, they might not have the abilities. They might actually have the actual stats overall. So I have to kind of check them out. I ain't going to lie to you. I haven't looked at Cleveland
You're
Browns.
like, I haven't taken the time to waste my time playing as the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, I'm not even going to lie to you. Like, yeah, I don't know what that squad is looking like.
But you know what, though? In the Madden parlance here, guys, I mean, I got to tell you, I was never really that up on Jacksonville, for example, but because Drini, who's a player that I follow and I just think is a tremendous competitor, because he always plays as the Jaguars, he's a defending club champ and all that, that kind of got me back into Jacksonville. So sometimes there's a Madden player you might fasten in on, and whatever team they roll with, you kind of start to pick up on that team because you like how that guy plays Madden.
Yeah, and it's a shame how Jacksonville fell apart, man. In Madden, they had 2 years where their defense was just phenomenal. And I was one of those guys that I just used them because they had such a great defense. And they fell apart way too early. Can he take it to the Baja? No,
Harrison gets it inside the 10 anyway. That's on the Baja Peninsula.
All right, looks like they're going to do a little substitution. In the meantime, I want to know the scouting report here from User, because we're looking at Connor Myers from Tennessee. Clearly, he's at the top of the heap in the SEC, sitting at 6-0 for Tennessee. But what do you see in this guy's game, or what will you be looking for? He has a top 100 finish in a weekend league, but other than that, not a ton of Madden experience.
I mean, you know, him getting top 100 in the weekend league, that's good. That lets me know he can play with the best. Now, is he doing it every week? Can he get top 100 weekend league for the month? You know, that's where you start off in Madden. You know, you got to accept the little things. You know, take the wins when you get them. And so that lets me know Connor's 6-0. He's fighting the weekend league. He's used to playing some good competition. He can get the job done.
And he's got another touchdown here. Connor's a really fun story, guys. I mean, he's from North Carolina. He's not from Tennessee, but his high school nickname was Rocky Top. I mean, that's how much he was into the Volunteers. So, yeah, it was like, I'm not going to school anywhere else. I'm not looking at NC State. I'm not looking at Carolina. I'm not looking at A&T. All due respect to you, User. I'm not looking at Wake. I'm not looking at any. There's some great schools in North Carolina. But he says, you know, people call me Rocky Top for a reason. I'm going to Tennessee. So not only does he go to Tennessee, and that's a big campus, he comes out as the one guy that represents that entire school. It's not like he's BMOC, senior guy. I mean, he's a sophomore. He's a sophomore accounting major, and he is the top of Rocky Top right now. He's ahead 14-0 on Florida.
Yeah. Well, he's from North Carolina. North Carolina makes for great man players.
I hear that. At least one of them.
Yeah, but my guy Zachary, I know he has to be upset. You know, he called a timeout. Well, he paused the game. He threw that interception on his first pass of the game. He had Tyson Hill at quarterback. Obviously, everyone knows Drew Brees is hurt in real life. So on the Madden, Drew Brees isn't starting. So Tyson Hill, he threw that interception, and he paused the game quick to put Drew Brees in the game. And I know he's upset at that. Him not paying attention cost him 7, and now he's down.
Florida, for real, number 6 in the country. They're 7-1. And again, they will play this Saturday against Tennessee for real. Their only loss was at Texas A&M, 41-38. Ooh, that one almost taken the other way.
That looked like Tyson Hill.
Well, Drew Brees, who in real life, as I'm sure you know by now, has got the broken ribs all up and down his body. He's idled for another couple weeks here. His New Orleans team winning without him. Of course, they were up against a team just this past week that didn't have a quarterback.
Right. That was probably the worst game of football I've ever watched, but I was so drawn to the TV just watching the defensive massacre.
Well, and you know what's funny? There's kind of a Madden tie in there too, Puckett, because the first thing I thought of, and User, I don't know if you thought this too, I go back to Madden Bowl not too long ago, where the winning player in Madden Bowl, very famously, used a punter as a quarterback the whole game, right? I mean, and you know, everybody around the world said, wait a minute, you can do that? You don't need a big-time quarterback to win at Madden? So I thought of that immediately when they had to go with what they went with in Denver, that no, you know, don't just write this off. It is possible to scheme a football game to where you don't really need an actual quarterback. We learned that with Joke. We learned that in Madden Bowl.
Yeah, but I don't know in the NFL.
Yeah, I was going to say, those defensive linemen still hit like defensive linemen. Doesn't matter what position you play.
And Kendall Hickson ended up, 1 for 9, I believe it was. But, you know, I know that game was going to be a New Orleans win no matter what. I thought that there was a path, that there was a way that Denver could have stayed in it, kept it close. And actually in the first half they kind of did. But then it just got away from him. And that to your point, Puckett, it was like a car wreck you just couldn't turn away from. You wanted to see how bad it was going to get.
I'm mad I missed it.
You can go back and watch the highlights on YouTube. It's pretty fantastic. But basically, when you put a practice squad wide receiver in it as your quarterback, you're not going to have a lot of success throwing the ball. And when they know you're going to run the ball, Saints are pretty good at reading you.
Well, I tell you what, I'm watching Connor Myers operate on defense, and user, I don't know about you. I mean, he got out to the quick start, scoring the 14 points. I like how he's running his defense too.
Yeah, he's running that 3-3-5 normal, cover 3. Looks like he's baseline and just saying, hey, I'm gonna keep everything in front of me and let my guys go to work.
Alvin Kamara gobbled up. They've already fed it to him a half a dozen times. What's the cutoff point where you really start to see fatigue in a running back? Is it after 10 runs? Is it after 12?
It's actually after 3.
It really starts to empty your tank that quickly, huh?
Yeah, if you run with him 3 times in a row, you'll see it. Really?
But
by the time you run, if you do 2 runs, you'll see it on the 3rd. He won't be full.
So do you rotate in another running back, or do you just get away from your run game for the moment and find a tight end to pass to just to give him a breather?
Whenever I'm going run heavy and I'm running Las Vegas playbook, I'll rotate the running backs every play.
This is a 4th and 1.
And he's short.
And did he get it? I don't know.
He had 2 wide receivers open on that left side.
See, Puckett, you saw that because you didn't have the controller in your hand.
Yet. I'm going back to school. I talked about this. We had a 33-year-old competing. I'm going to be that 35-year-old next year on the sticks.
There's a big difference when you're holding that controller in your hand. Trust and believe, he didn't see none of those guys.
Well, indeed, they didn't get it 4th and 1. Another great stop. And Baker Mayfield, speaking of getting stopped, he gets crushed.
That release looked god awful. Looked like he loaded up from his ankle.
Still 14-0 for Connor Myers, a.k.a. Rocky Top.
Nice.
That's a better ball right there.
And you know, he's out here in this West Coast play, but we haven't seen many people running this West Coast. This is a old classic Madden offense, far near up under center. You know, I'm pretty sure this has got my guy Zachary off guard with this right here.
Well, we saw it with the play to Austin Hooper, the tight end. Of course, the 49ers back in the day, when you think of West Coast offense, it was Joe Montana and Steve Young. There's a beautiful pass. We were just talking about the tight end. There he is, Austin Hooper, and this thing's a rout.
Yeah, he's killing that play action, sucking the linebackers in, hitting them right behind him up the seam.
Austin Hooper out of Stanford. That is a great tight end school. I would think Stanford, Iowa, my UCLA team. Just a tight end factory. And there is Austin Hooper to make it 21-0 already. And remember, in Heat 3, if you're just joining us, we saw John Britt keep Oregon undefeated. See if Tennessee with Connor Myers can stay undefeated. Vanderbilt, we need to point out, in Madden play here, is undefeated. That is a nice U-turn from what's going on in real life, because poor Vanderbilt, not much of an offense these days.
I think we got a good player, a pro playing for Vanderbilt. Who's that, Justin?
I'd have to do some
Yes,
search. I know Jay
confirmed. I just went through the spreadsheets. Confirmed. Justin plays for Vanderbilt.
Yeah, so you know we got.
And we got. I was at him confused with Jay Wall, who I know is back east.
And Jay Wall's in this tournament. We got a lot of pros in this tournament just snuck in up under the college radar. We don't have their gamer names or
Using
their
their
gamer
government
tags.
identification tags.
Yeah,
Right.
Noah's in this tournament. Y'all remember DJ? He lost to Buggs on that blocked field goal last year in the Falcons club. He's
well, one of the most amazing endings in Madden you're ever going to see. And going back to Noah, you know, it's funny, user. We were actually doing a Madden event, an MCS event, when we learned that he had gotten into Maryland. He was a high school senior and was in the process of getting into the finals of, I'm pretty sure which cup he was going for, but
it was
there we are.
draft chance.
Yeah, you're right. And there we are in Redwood City, and we find out from his mom that very day they had gotten the acceptance letter to Maryland.
That's
and
awesome.
So now here he is at Maryland representing the Terps and doing it very well, because at last check, I think Noah was undefeated in this tournament as well.
Yeah, he's undefeated. I mean, that must be awesome. Win the belt last year, and then get to go to school, and then guess what? Y'all put up 150,000 for this man in his first year in college. And I was in college all my life. I was in college for 5 years, and y'all ain't put up 150,000.
I think in all my college tournaments, I won like 5 free games to a GameStop, and there wasn't a GameStop on campus. It's like the worst prize in the history of school-sponsored events. Guys, we're coming up on halftime here, and I'm told we will have some cards to show you, so stay tuned, chat. 38 seconds to go.
I thought User was going to go all Belushi from Animal House there. 8 years of college down the drain.
Oh, yeah, it definitely was down the drain. I wish they had this man going like that then, man.
Well, since we were just talking about wearing those colors, the black and the gold, let's see if the Saints and Florida can start the rally now. It's a good-looking pass to Thomas across the middle. He'll have a timeout to use, too.
You see Zachary switching it up, going to 5 wide. See if he can spread them out.
Oh, no, don't throw that ball. Ward with the pick, and this could be 6.
He's got some speed.
This is going to the house.
Denzel Ward, great Madden player.
He's going
and
to the
he
house.
will score.
He's going to walk out the time.
Zeros, yep.
Oh,
yep. Oh, he didn't quite do it. It took it to 1 second. That's a sound strategy, though, right? Try to run out the clock and stick your pick 6.
Yeah.
I don't know. Give another second, you might get another interception.
Well, I tell you what, Denzel Ward is and you know this, User, he's a pretty fine Madden player himself. He's a guy that in the offseason plays Madden all the time. Yeah,
we actually had Denzel Ward for, they had a Navy event special. That was my first time actually commentating for FNF, and Denzel Ward was there. You know, what the crazy thing was, the tournament was on Xbox.
Okay.
I'll never forget this. The tournament was on Xbox, and we're waiting for Denzel Ward, right? And we can hear him in production. He's like, I can't see it. And the dude's like, yeah, I'm sending him a message. He's not responding. He's like, nah, I don't see his game tag. I don't see the invite. And we find out after about 15 minutes later, I said, hey, Denzel, what system you on? He said, oh, I'm on PlayStation. I said, oh my God, man.
Classic
and like
mistake.
Yeah, and the show was already live. They were like the second round, so I'll never forget that with Denzel.
Don't worry, guys.
Rookie mistake.
In 5 years, it'll all just be one platform. Let's take a quick break from the action here and show some love to all of our people in the chat. It's TiVo time. The Gators are down big right now, but you get yourself one of the best. The first man to ever win a Heisman Award as a sophomore in college, Tim Tebow, coming out with a 92 overall rating. And we've got 2 cards, one for our friends over at twitch.tv/levelnextgg and one right here in twitch.tv/EA Madden NFL. User, tell me about this quarterback. What do you like on the stat sheet?
You got Tim Tebow. He's an improviser. He's not a scrambler. He's an improviser. So actually, this is a pretty good card for him to be an improviser. You know, he's going to get escape artist. I believe he gets escape artist because that's over 85 speed. So he doesn't get gunsling or anything like that, but he does get escape artist. He has 91 throw power, 90 throw up under pressure, 92 throw on the run. So Tim Tebow can get the job done. Is he going to be better than a Michael Vick or Randall Cunningham? No, but if you're a Tim Tebow fan, guess what? This card is for you. You can definitely use him out there in mud. And
just think of how awesome it would be after you make a big play, you have the option to take a knee, or take a knee.
I see what you did there. Hey, and not to crazy name drop, but I got to tell you 2 quick Tim Tebow tie-ins because I got close enough. I don't know him real well or anything like that, but my years doing the Mets broadcast, of course, he was in training camp with the New York Mets in Port St. Lucie, so got to know him a little bit down there and see him in the batting cage and all of that. Very committed to baseball. But I also saw his NFL debut. He came in off the bench for the Broncos against the Chargers in Denver and actually almost had them, I was going to say miracle, I probably shouldn't even go there, but almost had a very unlikely comeback win in his NFL debut in the 4th quarter. So the buzz in Denver when he first got going, it was deafening. And I think a lot of people thought that Tim Tebow was going to be a big deal in the NFL. And you know what? He was for about 3 months.
Hey, he took Denver into the playoffs, right? They won a game.
Yeah.
That's something Romo didn't get done in that decade, I remember.
No, but then stuff like this started happening.
Yeah.
And Marcus Lattimore with a fine play right there. Marshawn Lattimore's a good card to have too, by the way.
Shout out to Zachary Barenberg representing Florida, another fellow Gator. He's at 1-5 overall in the conference, has had a real slow start. And of course, in this one, the pick 6 at the half was kind of a heartbreaker. But now he's got the ball. Let's see if he can improve with at least 3 points at the end of this drive.
Well, 3 points is all that was on the board for Tennessee last year in the Florida-Tennessee game. That was a 34-3 rout for the Gators. This one is looking to flip the switch, go the other way. But yeah, got to get those 3. You don't want to be whitewashed. You don't want to be embarrassed. And user, I'm sure you can speak to this way back in the day because you never get shut out now. But there is that thing, right? I mean, it's a little bit of a stigma. When somebody says, "Hey, how'd you do?" You don't want to say, well, I didn't score, right? I mean, you get those 3 points, and at least you got that.
Well, I've been on this end. I played in F&F a couple weekends ago. My good buddy IB Strafing, he brought out the new Gut Fox defense on me. I had never seen it. It's a defense that's been under the radar. Wesley ran it Tuesday, and you see he blew the dude out that he ran. I never saw it. It's a good little gimmicky defense. I can't even say gimmicky. It's nice. The loops around, and I got blew out, Josh. I got blew out.
But you put up a donut?
Oh, I got blew out. Blew out. It was like 24-0. I cut the game.
No.
I cut the game off. And immediately called Strafing like, we're supposed to be boys. Why didn't you tell me about this defense, and then you run it on me on F&F?
Now, are your friends like the type of guys to send you an Uber Eats Baker's Dozen after that? Because I would definitely rub in the donuts. You got to do a little trash talk.
Yeah, hey, you want glaze?
Strafing is definitely one of the guys that will rub it in.
He could be my best friend. I like that.
Yeah, but
you'd love Strafing. Strafing is great. You
would love Strafing, but definitely I've had it happen. And I'm not one of those guys like trying to take. There is no second place trophy or participation award. Listen, if it's over, am I rage quitting? I'm not rage quitting, but I'm quitting. I'll tell you that.
Well, hopefully we don't see it again. I put it in the chess parlance. I don't think that Zachary Barenberg is going to tip the queen over on the chessboard here quite yet, but he's down 28, and the way that the clock control has been for Tennessee's Connor Myers. And here's Chubb again, just kind of grinding out more yards. I just don't see a path at all.
Yeah,
we're already down to 3:20 left here.
I really want to see who's in this conference that could match up with Connor, because his style of gameplay is very unorthodox, and I want to see it go against somebody like a football 88. I'm not sure if they're in the same conference or not.
No, he's in the Pac-12. We're looking at SEC. Speaking of SEC, we did see one SEC game in Heat 2. That was Georgia's Joseph Kopsho going up against Texas A&M's Matthew Dean in that one.
And so I want to see, how he matchups against, one of those pros that runs the meta, because he's out here. He's in West Coast, but like I said, he's running an unorthodox offense.
And that's smart to stay in balance there. Kareem Hunt just spinning some more seconds off that clock, takes us to the 2-minute warning. So Tennessee and Vanderbilt, guys, are going to be a combined 13-0. So something about that state of Tennessee living is agreeing with this tournament. And this guy, who's actually from North Carolina, of all towns, Apex, is actually at exactly that. He's at the very top of the leaderboard here. Connor Myers is going to be 7-0. Officially in about 1:20.
Okay, that's like the 17th ball I've seen Hooper catch. So is there something there? Because it seems even when he's covered, the man's still coming down with the ball.
Austin Hooper's a good tight end. I don't think he's like top 5, but he's top 10 tight end in the league, But he doesn't have no ability, and that last pass shouldn't have been completed, if you ask me.
Taking knees here right now. And see, you called it, Puckett. Give away a Tebow card, and you take a knee. Will he take another one here? Doesn't look like it.
No, he was going to run it out. But,
and then he saw he had a play here for OBJ.
Well, buddy called a timeout. And so Connor said, you want to call the timeout? Okay, I'm going to run it up on you. I was trying to be
exactly
nice.
What just happened there. Yeah. I was going to be nice. I was going to keep it at 28, but now fine. Here's 35. Yep.
Take 35 of these things.
Well, and again, the shutout's impressive. It just is. And it's the second of the tournament for Connor Myers already.
With the Cleveland Browns,
Right? I know.
With Baker Mayfield. I know you guys were thinking in the chat. I'm not alone throwing shade at Baker. Don't look at me like that.
Baker brings it on himself sometimes, but tell you what, credit where it's due. I mean, Connor Myers, he set his course. We mentioned it. You know, he's not from Tennessee, but grew up wanting to go to Tennessee and represent the school somehow. Wasn't going to be on the football team, but he can do this. Sophomore accounting major has just rung up a 35.
All right, guys, give him a call for the highlight reel. This is Zachary with 22 seconds left to put points on the board. This could be the one.
This is it. Can they get Drew Brees down on the ground? That's all I got, by the way.
it's covered.
Almost done. Wrap him up. Knock him out. Win the game. It's going to be 35-0 for Tennessee's Connor Myers.
I believe.
How is that?
I
Something like
believe
that?
it's coming. I believe Zachary Berenberg. This is yours.
I believe that
Emmanuel.
he can score.
Emmanuel.
Only thing gonna be open is this corner route. Nope, that's not even open.
Welcome to Miles
Survey
Garrett.
says. Yeah, that'll do it. We're at 35-0 officially for your final in our marquee game. Tennessee beats Florida. And again, they're going to actually play for real this weekend, and Tennessee can only hope they can hang in there like that.
Absolutely. That was our match of the week. And once we saw the way things were shaping up in week one, I called it. I hit up the producers. It's like, guys, I don't know if this is a smart move. One-on-one, you're going up against a man who's 5-0, now 6-0, representing Tennessee. Dominant performance here from Connor in this one. He looked good on offense. His defense was impeccable. Interception after interception, a few of them going all the way to the Baja.
There's barely Baja right there, just kind of crawling across. There's your boy Austin Hooper. Stanford proud right there.
Connor Myers chalking up 35 points. I believe that is officially the highest we have had in our match of the week. We saw a 40 bomb in the earlier heats, but as we wrap this one up, user, I got to get a grade. I actually said he was 5-0. Connor Myers is now 7-0 after this game. How do you rate this man in the SEC?
Hey, Connor, he looks very nice out there, but like I said, his offense is unorthodox, so I want to see him match up against the meta and see how he stands up against somebody like a Football 88 or anybody else that's running the meta, because what he's running with that play action up on the center under that West Coast, it's nice. I want to see how it matches up.
Perfect game to close out the night. We want to give a big shout out to everyone who joined us as we reflect on a fantastic evening. Let's start with you, Josh Lewin. What did you enjoy most? It's great to have you back. Your first time doing our Red Zone feature.
Well, I mean, first of all, not to blow sunshine up your skirt, but great job. I mean, you are the master of this, and everybody at Level Next, thank you, everybody. You made this so easy. User, you and I go back now about a year, so I don't have to crawl over you. You know how I feel about you already. But good Madden play, and a fun tournament.
We got some great games again for you next Wednesday, so mark your calendar. 7 o'clock Eastern, we'll be coming at you live right here on twitch.tv/levelnextgg and EA Madden NFL. Congratulations to all of our winners who got the cards tonight. Shout out to RG, Chad, and the rest of the EA crew for hooking you guys up. I love to see it. It makes my job even more fun. Thank you again for tuning in on behalf of one great user, Josh Lewin, and everyone behind the scenes. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in 7 days.